deliver the final over of the Shannon Sports innings being inserted by the GLENORA Sports Club. So I don't think they'll be so disappointed, Ruskin, with the total that they get so far.
No, this is it represents a bit of a recovery for them after they mustered just 39 in the power play. So they've been steadily building, they just haven't been able to accelerate.
Ikwe is on strike, and big booming drive off the inner portion of the bat. And thinking about the second, but Julian is there, coming in from long on. The shouts of well done, echoing in the stump mic. So Ikwe is off strike now, with 5 deliveries to come in the final over.
Yeah, you had to go for that second run. And the batsman, Kamabachi, must have always been thinking 2.
Here's Holder. The Kamabachi on, he's struck. Ikwe is already halfway down the track, but of course Kamabachi couldn't come through for that single there. Struck with a short pitch delivery from Daniel Holder. And no concussion test for him. He ducked into it, took his eyes off of it. Perhaps did it strike him on the shoulder, or was it just the helmet?
It probably struck the helmet as well. But he's a tough guy, so he doesn't even shake it off. He doesn't flinch.
He's smiling. Holder again as he approaches. And he just doesn't deliver. He's looking at Ikwe because he realized Ikwe is going to be scampering down at the next end, so he doesn't release it. Also, he doesn't release it to effect a run out because Ikwe never broke the crease.
Well, I think now you must be thinking, all right, you bowled a short ball already. You could bowl another one because it wasn't signaled as one in the over to this batsman.
Well, the exciting finish to the final over, backing away. And lets it go for 4. I say lets it go for 4 because Ikwe wasn't coming back for the second. But you gifted them 4 runs there. Could he have stopped that, Ruskin?
He could have, but he went with his legs. He never got down to it. And we've seen that, throughout the tournament, a lot of fielders, and these are boundary riders who you would think the captains put out there for precisely that purpose, to sprint around and prevent close balls like that from going into the boundary. It's just that it was so well timed and so well placed.
So Kamabachi, 4 runs he has now. He's backing away. Can't get the single, can't get the boundary either. Ikwe is stuck on 39 at the non-striker's end with 3 deliveries gone in the over. And he's already had 3 50s in the tournament, Ikwe Craig. He's perhaps not going to finish off with another half century in this innings.
And like I said, this could be an opportunity here now for another short ball to see how he responds to it.
Well, the digs it in short as predicted by Ruskin Mark, but doesn't make a lot of height. And this time they just settled for the single. I'm not sure if they could have gotten another one there. Kenroy Williams was the man who, I want to say, allowed the boundary in the over for Kamabachi, perhaps thinking that he wanted to keep Kamabachi on strike to avoid having to bowl to Craig Ikwe, who's looking to deliver downtown, looking to go big.
So the final ball.
Off the inside edge. It calls for 2. It's out to mid-wicket. Govaya is there. They're going to come back for the second run and finish off the innings on, or they're going to get a third. They're going to attempt a third as Ikwe calls through with a bit of a fumble. And the run out, in fact, is going to happen. Kamabachi is going to go run out. Ikwe will finish on 40. Should be 40. They got a single.
They completed 2 actually. And it's the 3rd run that they were.
Yeah, so it's 40. Yep. Should be 41.
Yep.
And that will finish off the innings for the Shannon Sports Club. 147. It should be for 7 at the end of 20 overs. A good recovery, Ruskin.
Yep. It represents a good recovery, and it also gives them a fighting chance with the ball, because now their bowlers are going to have to come to the party here and see if they can't limit their opponents to under this tour. Now, this is a good opportunity for Shannon to show their Shannon Sports to show their capabilities. Although you have to say GLENORA Sports was thinking 147 shouldn't be that difficult, but cricket is a strange old game, so you never know. And as we say, that's runs on the board. It's now up to them to try and see if they could overhaul it. They need 148.
Yeah, they certainly have the batting to do it. And Leonardo Julian will be at the top of the order. There's a Mikel Govaya in the lineup. Salim Khan has left out the youngster. And then Kenroy Williams, who's been doing quite well. This is some of the highlights from the start of play with Waylon George. Joya opening the batting with Nigel Benjamin. He struck 2 4s and 1 6, Benjamin. And then he put the ball straight in the hand of the man Franklin Roos, and Mikel Govaya got his first wicket. And Joshua De Silva came into the fray. He hit 1 6 over extra cover. 2 6s he hit in total and 1 4 in his knock of 38 off of 34 deliveries. Rashawn Rivera struggled a bit. He scored 11 off of 28 with 1 boundary. And that was the middle overs that they just stuttered in their run scoring. And Ikwe Craig came out to the party. 3 6s he hit, 2 4s in his knock of 41 not out off of 19 deliveries. Kelvin John lost his middle stump for 5 from Andy Alexander, and Sylvan Cummings was also bowled for 3 from Govaya. Adrian Joseph, there's a couple overthrows here. Here's a final wicket falling here as they try to come back for 3 to close the inning off. Adrian Joseph went for 1 with a paddle scoop, and Neil Komabach there you saw just being run out for 5. 23 extras in this total of 147 for each. A run rate of 7.4, Ruskin.
Yeah, certainly a good total in the end, but is it enough? I think that's the big question. And, we often say they might be about 20 or 30 runs short, because as I said, they might have been thinking 160, 165, but if they feel well and they bowl well, who knows, this might be a bit of a challenge for Glenora Sports. We'll have their reply when we come back.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. How important is it for the client to be recognized and not to feel invisible, to feel like just a number?
At GMMB, everybody is seen as an ideal, important client. And we give everybody the same level of respect, the same level of acknowledgement, and we deal with you to suit based on that vision of love.
GMMB.
It's banking for real.
Blue Water's posse identified! Somebody pass blue water, somebody bring blue water, somebody get blue water, and we ready now. When you feeling hard, take up the water spray. Take up the water spray. In your school or home, take up the water spray. When the bus run out, take up the water spray. Party posse water, working posse water, school children they water. The water spray, if it is posse water, the office posse water. When they want to get the inside information, they go to the real source, the team members. Let's hear what they're saying.
One of the joys that I have is calling someone and telling them you have that approval.
We want to know our clients. The attention that we give the client feels that warmth.
We help you, the customer.
We are here to help you, achieve your dreams.
Client succeeding, it has helped the bank to succeed.
Lots of great information here. And yes, GMMB is a real bank. Blue Water's posse identified! Somebody pass blue water, somebody bring blue water, somebody get blue water, and we ready now. When you feeling hard, take up the water spray. Take up the water spray. In your school or home, take up the water spray. When the bus run out, take up the water spray. Party posse water, working posse water, school children they water. The water spray, if it is posse water, the office posse water.
This one? No.
Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch whoever isn't on board. Order KFC's Mega 6 Bucket for only $115. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency.
and let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. What about the connection with you and your team members?
It's top priority for me to have that clear understanding of who my team members are and building connections with them to ensure that they carry out the vision of what we are trying to achieve as a team, realizing opportunities for both the clients and ourselves.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
Having that family lime at home, that cookout by the river, or you're just feeling to bubble up pot? Then Cans Poultry and Meats Limited has got you covered for all your meaty needs. Whether it be chicken, beef, steak, lamb, or even seafood, check Cans. They even have seasoning and condiments to complement your dish. So if you're looking for top quality meats at prices that wouldn't bust your pocket, then come on in to Cans today at any of their convenient locations.
Truth be told, here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. It seems to me there's a power in listening. It seems like that is a part of the mandate.
Of course. We need to listen to our clients. We need to hear what they need. We need to hear that they are satisfied, they are loved, they are feeling that GMMB culture.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. How important is it for the client to be recognized and not to feel invisible, to feel like just a number?
At GMMB, everybody is seen as an ideal, important client. And we give everybody the same level of respect, the same level of acknowledgement, and we deal with you to suit based on that vision of love.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And we ready now. When you feeling hard, take a blue water spray. Take a blue water spray. In your school or house, take a blue water spray. When the bus run out, take a blue water spray. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. Blue water spray. If it is posse water, the office posse water.
When you want to get the inside information, you go to the real source, the team members. Let's hear what they're saying.
One of the joys that I have is calling someone and telling them you have that approval.
We want to know our clients, the attention that we give the client feels that warmth.
We help you, the customer.
We are here to help you, achieve your dreams.
Clients succeeding, it has helped the bank to succeed.
Lots of great information here. And yes, GMMB is a real bank.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And we ready now. When you feeling hard, take a blue water spray. Take a blue water spray. In your school or house, take a blue water spray. When the bus run out, take a blue water spray. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. Blue water spray. If it is posse water, the office posse water.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch whoever isn't on board. Order KFC's Mega 6 Bucket for only $115. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. What about the connection with you and your team members?
It's top priority for me to have that clear understanding of who my team members are and building connections with them to ensure that they carry out the vision of what we are trying to achieve as a team, realizing opportunities for both the clients and ourselves.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
Having that family lime at home, that cookout by the river, or you're just feeling to bubble up pot? Then Cans Poultry and Meats Limited has got you covered for all your meaty needs. Whether it be chicken, beef, steak, lamb, or even seafood, check Cans. They even have seasoning and condiments to complement your dish. So if you're looking for top quality meats at prices that wouldn't bust your pocket, then come on in to Cans today at any of their convenient locations.
Truth be told, here at GMMB, love is the currency. and let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. It seems to me there's a power in listening. It seems like that is a part of the mandate.
Of course. We need to listen to our clients. We need to hear what they need. We need to hear that they are satisfied, they are loved, they are feeling that JMMB culture.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
Okay, so welcome you back here. We're waiting the arrival of the teams, and of course, Shannon Sports will be hoping now they can really put the squeeze on Glenora and try their best to limit them under the score of 148 that they were 147. You really want to win it outright. You don't want the scores level at all, and try and see if you could do the business with them. Julian, I would imagine, would probably be playing a crucial role here to give them a positive start, especially in their power plays.
Yeah, the highlight of the innings for Shannon Sports Club was Ikwe Craig 41 not out, and Joshua Davis 38 he made. Nigel Benjamin 19. To pick up the bowlers, Mikel Govaya with returns of 4 for 19 off of his 4 overs, and Andy Alexander 3 for 26. And he didn't complete his quota. He bowled 3 overs. And the other side of the coin here, the 2 openers out there in the middle, Leonardo Julian, former Trinidad and Tobago youth player, as well as in the setup for the Trinidad and Tobago squad for the regional tournament, just completed this year. Didn't make it onto the final 11, but that is the ability of the young man. Keon Mason is the man who will take first strike, and the leading wicket taker in the tournament, Sylvain Cummings.
Of course, when you consider Leonardo Julian and the name Julian, obviously Bernard Julian comes to mind. And but Bernard was an amazingly talented cricketer, whether he was a bowler or as a batsman, whether he was a spinner or a seam bowler. And or in the field, he was a very accomplished fielder. He was left arm, and he did exceptionally well at all levels, whether it was at the youth level, at the national level, at the West Indies level, at county championship level, playing for Kent. He was really an amazing talent. Plus, to his credit, he does have a test match century at Lords, so he knows a thing or two about batting, bowling and fielding as well. So here we go with Mason, trying to see if he could give his team a big start here. By comparison, after the first 6 overs, they were 39 for 2, Shannon. And stroked away immediately. That's nicely played, and that is going to run, and but it's not going to get to the boundary. It's actually going to stop, and they should get a 3rd run.
Yeah, Weathers was the man chasing it down. He seemed reluctant to take off after it. And even though it wasn't going for 4, but if it was going for 4, Ruskin, he'd still have to get the ball. So he had no choice but to chase after it.
Yeah, he looked like he thought it was going to just race over the boundary, and then realized that it was just losing speed.
Yeah, no ball boys are wrong to do the retrieving in the outfield. And interesting that we have 2 left-arm opening fast bowlers in this particular game. Daniel Holder and now Sylvain Cummings. 10 wickets, the highest or the leading wicket taker in the tournament thus far.
And Cummings has to be very careful. He has to be spot on here. Now he's been taking wickets, but in between those wicket-taking deliveries, sometimes he's been fairly expensive as well. So now he needs to really tighten up, as we say, cut out those boundary balls and try to produce more wicket-taking deliveries. And a wide signal, so
Yeah, and one slip in place, a man out of deep extra cover and at long off for the left-handed Julian. So he's going to focus on that line outside the off stump, but started off too wide on that occasion. So he's already conceded 4 runs so far in the first over.
Yeah, it's really about just trying to keep it tight. Don't give away runs. You don't have that many to play with. That's well played. That's going to run for 4 runs. No doubt about this one. And excellent shot from Julian. He was on top of it, and he used the width to good effect. And he realized he didn't pull away. He walked into it and hit it, stayed on top of it, and played it nicely.
Yeah, he was sure, he ensured that he actually guided it down, because he stepped across, and there you could see coming from top down with the cut shot to put it in the gap. Raced away for 4. He was also just glancing across as the fielder out in the deep as Cummings was running into bowl, recognizing that the effort is going to be outside the off stump. So he was looking for it. He's a step outside his crease as well to catch the ball early, because Cummings can swing the ball in the air.
And again, but this was the adjustment that was made in the field. They brought that man at, we have to call him a backward point now. Brought him a little bit squarer, brought him a little bit to his right, I should say, brought him finer. Then there's that short third man who is going a little bit to his left. So they're trying to plug that very gap that Julian seems so keen to place the ball through there. And let's see if Cummings can change his line as well. That's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's where he should be aiming to be. Not too far wide outside the off stump, because he can get the ball to swing away from the left-hander. And he has to be wary. It's a left-hander's bread and butter, that cut shot. They can manipulate the point field and anywhere behind point, and they can place it, particularly with the pace of Cummings. And the man was at cover point, and you're quite right, Ruskin. They put him at backward point, trying to narrow the gap. But they also created a lot of room between backward point and cover on the boundary.
And that's a good bounce there. Nice pickup as well. And Cumberbatch got a good bounce, a good fielder's bounce.
Yeah, typically with the newer ball, the ball tends to go finer as well. And in addition to the swing that might be on offer here for Cummings. But so far it's a pretty expensive opening over, despite the 3-dot deliveries. His first 3 deliveries of the over were a bit wayward.
And this time he places it a little bit better, away from Cumberbatch cover, and got to use his single to end the first over. And at the end of over number 1, it's 9 without loss.
Yes, a big batting lineup here for the Glenora Sports Club. Mason on 3, Julian on 5. Capable of the extraordinary, the wicketkeeper batsman at the top of the order. Then there's Kenroy Williams to come, not to mention Mikael Govaya. So they want to try and make early inroads here, particularly Cummings, who is the leading wicket taker in the tournament.
So 9 without loss after 1, but in their first over they just had 1 run on the board, and then they were able to steadily increase. So we'll see how they kick on from here.
Cumberbatch looks to be the man being introduced into the attack, the off spinner. So already Ikwe at long on. Just looking to see who else is out in the deep. So far just a 1 man. Or extra cover is now retreating. In fact, it's the left-hander, yeah. So long off rather for Ikwe Craig. So it's a man at cow corner now for the left-handed Julian, who is sitting deep in his crease for the off-spinner John.
And again, because of the Julian and some of these players would have played at a higher level, in the National League or with the national team or close to the national team, played West Indies youth team. This is a level where he must be thinking, I could get 2 bad balls in every over. And if I capitalize on that, you know, that's either 8 runs or 10 runs that I can get every over without any bother at all. And the rest of the deliveries, I can just push around, take a single, get 2 runs, or if I get another bad ball, then I deal with it. And that has to be the mindset that he approaches it with. You know, you're telling the bowler in his own mind, you can't out me. And that's well played again. And good bit of fielding, just taking most of the sting out of it. And that to me, that is how you approach it when you're playing at a level below what you're accustomed to. You pretty much want to dominate at that level, and you want to prove to yourself that you could dominate this bowling attack. Well played, brilliantly played. Into the gap it goes, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, effortless shot there. It was a full toss, and the man of the caliber of Leonardo Julian puts it away with ease, and it's going to be complicated because of the left-hand, right-hand combination, not just for the fielders having to switch position continuously, but for the bowler as well, who also has to change his line.
It is, but you know, he's trying to plug the gap on the offside. So immediately he has put the sweeper in almost where that ball passed. There, almost directly where that ball passed, or slightly to the right of it. He's put the cover to his left, and he's put the backward point in place. So trying to turn this one, just sort of standing up straight there, Julian, and having it rush on to him a little bit. But again, it's really mindset. You know, this is how you approach an innings like this, where you know your team needs a big start, and you take the responsibility. That's brilliant, excellent shot indeed, and really a new KFC maximum there, the first of the innings. And Leonardo Julian is off and running here now.
There's the capability of the man there. We haven't seen too many of these types of shots in the match so far. Down on one knee, paddling it around the corner and getting some power behind the shot as well. I just want to call that, it looked almost Ramdu-like, Kyle Ramdu. You see him play a lot of those types of shots for the Northside Future Stars. He is also, I believe, second leading run scorer on the table, Kyle Ramdu. Leonardo Julian proving that he's capable of the shot as well.
Yep, so he goes quickly on to 16 from 9. It's 21 without loss now. We're in over number 2. And John under some pressure here now. 12 off the over so far. And so it's going to end with 12 coming from that over. So 2 in the books, 21 without loss.
Truth be told, here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. It seems to me there's a power in listening. It seems like that is a part of the mandate.
Of course. We need to listen to our clients. We need to hear what they need. We need to hear that they are satisfied, they are loved, they are feeling that JMMB culture.
JMMB.
It's banking for real.
So again, 127 from 108 deliveries. So they're not, actually they're pretty much on course here now. Question is, can they keep going, and can they avoid losing early wickets?
As well, Ruskin, they're going to ask themselves the question, how much overs are they going to give Cummings at the start of the innings?
And that's well played, but there's cover out there, and just a single from it. But again, you could just feel how the ball is coming off the bat. He's a big man, and giving it a good whack.
Yeah, power hitter. Mason, 22. Now, first delivery of the third over completed. Because if Cummings is not being effective at the start of the innings, he is your leading wicket taker. You might just want to hold him back, just give him the 2 overs and try something a bit different.
Yeah, see who can get a breakthrough for you, if he can do it. And Julian again fishing there. And the foot went down the wicket but didn't go across to the ball. Now he's rehearsing a totally different shot to the one he played.
Yeah, the more traditional shot to get the right part across. And that's a good take as well from the wicketkeeper Joseph, a man also known as Pokey. He's been around the FETMAT circuit as well for a number of years, the wicketkeeper. Quite accomplished. Good man with the gloves. That one just wobbling a bit and a little hint of movement as well after it passed the bat.
And that's well played again with Julian. He's just waiting for it to come to him and not trying to overhit it.
And when he rehearsed the shot previously, there was a nice high elbow. There he is again. But on this occasion, it's more of a swatting type shot. And it's that type of shot that allows you to delay the shot and allow the ball to travel a bit further in its length so you can put it squarer of the wicket, because he's trying to beat the man out of deep cover.
Remember, he's playing it off the front foot as well, so he has to get his head over it to play that shot effectively. That's well played, probably too well played, and he hit it straight to the fielder and denied himself a chance at a run there.
Yeah, it got to him in an instant, in a flash. Timed it quite well, and the pace of the ball as well from Cummings. Got a good connection, but we mentioned it in the previous inning. Sometimes you hit it off the middle and get no runs, and then you miscue and it goes for 4, or you get runs.
Yeah, you use the whole bat. Yeah, the bats are expensive, you know, so you might as well use the edge every so often. And that's good running. And immediately on playing the shot, he was on the move and completed the single with very little fuss. That's more like it. If you're not going to hit a boundary, just rotate strike, and you know, that left-hand, right-hand combination can work for you and allow it to work for you.
So good over here from Cummings. He went for 9 in the first over. Started off shakily, conceded 8 runs, including a wide off the first 2 deliveries. He's come back well in this over.
And that's well played. That's going as well. That's traveling. And that's a beautiful shot there again from Leonardo Julian. Timing and placement is all that required. And he picked it up full, and he just really manipulated it down to wideish long on for our boundary there. So he keeps pushing on, and the runs keep coming. And another over that potentially was going well until the boundary. 28 without loss now after 3.
Yeah, I was just singing his praises, but on the final delivery of the over, he tried something different. He tried a slower delivery, turned out to be a full toss, and the change-up didn't work. Perhaps he would have been well suited just to deliver the traditional ball on that 4th, 5th stump line. But it wasn't to be, and 4 runs to the total.
Yeah, you look at the towers already, they're a bit bigger than what we had from Shannon Sports early on in their power play. And so they had 1 off their first over, then they had 8 off the second, and then they had 7 off the third. And here they had 9 off the first, and then they then put 11, or rather 12 off the second, and now they added another 7.
It's prompted a change here. They're going to introduce Joshua Davis early on in the piece to bowl a 4th over inside the power play, and replacing Kelvin John. Man out a deep mid-wicket for the right-hander, and a wide long on as well for the off-spin of Davis.
So Davis, who can pick up wickets, in fact he's shown that already in the tournament. They're going to rely on him here to do exactly that, but then he has to be careful because this fella is pretty strong, and that one just sailed out the ground. Another KFC maximum, 2 key on Mason, and he doubles his score with 1 swing of the bat.
I think that one is on the roof, Ruskin. It was dragged down from Davis and dispatched in CPL style on the roof of the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. That's a massive strike. From the big man.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows that it's as expensive to repair the roof on a building like this. And
we heard it from here, just making this a loud song on top of the roof. A good thing it wasn't in our direction as well, Ruskin. We could have been ducking here in the media center. And we're going to have a ball change as well. So not a good start here from Joshua Davis. First delivery being a hit out of the park.
Well, if it goes on the roof and then bounces over, I wonder if it stayed in the compound, if it bounced over the road. And now if it did that, bounce on the road and go over that road, it goes into the community center compound on the opposite side now.
And then that would be a KFC mega deal.
Well, then imagine your car, you feel you're safe.
You know, I wasn't thinking about that, Ruskin, Mark. But now I have to go check my vehicle because I'm parked exactly in that direction, just beyond the roof.
Yep, you know, because you're thinking, where did this ball actually go? Because I thought it hit the roof and came back, but it hit the roof and went over the building. So, an almighty swing. That has prompted a ball change. 34 now without loss. So they're really off and running. And they're just 5 away from the power play total that Shannon got. Short ball again. And he's going to get some more runs here. Probably a second if they hurry. And they will. And Julian started to amble and then had to pick up the pace. But he made it through safely. So Davis under a little bit of pressure here to start off with.
Yeah, and he's trying to bowl some darts in. He's not giving any flight at all because he's probably thinking that I'm bowling in the power play. I don't want to give too much flight and time for the batsman to lift me over the top. But he's been dragging it down a bit. Again, in terms of his length.
And it's going right through, but they decide against it. Julian probably just overran the crease. And now they're going to get the run. So careless. Really, really careless indeed. And it probably had 2 runs or, because of the initial misfield. And but they look like they'd given up on getting that second run. But then the Shannon players gifted them that second run. The PC controls Shannon Sports up against the Presidential Insurance GLENORA Sports Club. And again, he's really hammering the ball. And the ball is coming off the bat. There's this loud sound when he hits it. And he didn't really middle that one as well.
He's looking at the bat now. When he hits it, it stays hit.
Yep. He has really all the mannerisms of Raheem Cornwall. He looks like him. He probably patterns his game against his.
He opens the batting as well in the T20 format. At times, Raheem Cornwall.
And hits the ball a mile, as they say. No, Julian.
He's quite a good slipper as well, Raheem Cornwall.
Yep. I think out of necessity, because he's not the quickest of movers in the field, so you kind of put him where he could be an asset rather than a liability. And that's well played, and they won't get the run. Good bit of fielding there from Craig.
Yeah, no flight at all, and he's not pitching any length deliveries either.
Yeah, this is 2 Queen's Park men here up against each other, so you would imagine Julian would know what Davis is about. And 2 U-team stars as well. And again, but this time it goes right through the gate. They won't get a boundary, and but they'll be content. Actually, they just settle for 1. And you'd think that there was more than enough time there for them to get the second run. Now look at how easily they completed the 1, and then they just seemed to switch off. And Julian thought about it, but then they decided against it. So it's the end of the over 4 completed. It's 40 without loss.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. How important is it for the client to be recognized and not to feel invisible, to feel like just a number?
At GMMB, everybody is seen as an ideal, important client. And we give everybody the same level of respect, the same level of acknowledgement, and we deal with you to suit based on that vision of love.
GMMB.
It's banking for real.
So 40 without loss after 4 overs. Keon Mason is up to 17 from 9. Leonardo Julian is from 22 from 15. And this left-hand, right-hand combination is proven to be a bit of a handful for the Shannon Sports bowlers. And now the captain is forced to kind of shuffle the pack here a little bit.
Well, Ikwe, who had a trying time with the ball in terms of no balls in the earlier matches, is going to come on in now to bowl the 5th over of power play, the leg spinner. Now, he started off at an early age as a leg spinner and batted low down the order and worked his way up. His batting got better and better. But I can't say the same for his leg spin bowling, Ruskin.
Well, and the thing is, you have 2 batsmen who are quite capable of clearing the ropes here. So if he's not careful, you know, he could go for plenty. But, you know, it's probably the occasion when he could probably rise to the occasion and maybe prize out a wicket or 2 for his team.
It's such a funny game, this game of cricket. Leonardo Julian has a man at deep mid-wicket to counter his efforts, as well as a wide long on the onside for the ball, spinning into him. And
a trial run.
Doesn't get a lot of spin on the ball either. Doesn't try to impart too many revs on it.
Does he bowl the googly at all?
Well, it's more of a straighter googly to see.
And he's gone with him immediately. And that's a magnificent shot. And that's gone for a KFC maximum.
Well, no one is out there at long off. And he's hitting the leg spinner against the turn. Now, that one didn't come back a long way either. And you mentioned the googly because we normally see leg spinners in this T20 format to left-handers bowl a lot of googly deliveries. And that one was just spanked over the boundary for 6. And it's might be just getting away from Shannon Sports Club here as they approach 50 in the 5th over.
Yeah, that was actually a brilliant shot when you consider the angle and the spin of the ball. And but again, because of the restrictions in the field, he knows once he clears the inner ring. And again, this time through the gap, and that's brilliant batting once again.
Ruskin, that was timed to such perfection. It raced across the outfield. In the blink of an eye, it was into the boundary ropes. That's a fantastic shot from Julian. Have a look at the timing on this shot here and how quickly it spread across the outfield.
That's brilliant batting. Again, 50 on the board now.
It was a bit uppishly, but away from the man diving away at cover. And could only retrieve it from the boundary. So already expensive start for Ikwe. Dangerous to bowl him in the power play.
Yeah, because you can't cover all the bases. You have a long on and a deep mid wicket. And again, they probably missed out there because Julian was in control of that and probably could have just placed it a little bit better so he could have easily picked up a single there, but you won't hold it against him. He already has 10 off the over. And maybe that is what he was waiting on because that's 4 more.
Yeah, and in a flash again, a square drive this time all along the carpet, races across the order. Now Ruskin is bowling everything outside the off stump, but his protection is on the onside on the boundary. So they're going to have to think about this. If he's going to bowl that line, you want to have a man sweeping on the offside, or in fact, a man at the long one. But Julian is such a capable batsman that he might just tuck you in the onside.
Well, they've put the man out there now, and but they're going to have to bring the long on into the circle because the deep mid wicket is still out there. So they have men on both sides now trying to protect the boundaries. And let's see how he adjusts to that. This time they're going to get the single. And so again, good cricket, good out cricket, good response, a good early call, and the immediate response.
I think that's the right move as well, because he's holding that off-stump line. So you want to give him protection on the offside. And you've got to have some self-belief here, Craig, and not to drag it down or bowl on the stumps now. Although you have a man at deep mid-wicket, another man. So he did quite well there in that delivery, bowling to Mason now. As the field changes over.
Yeah, so he's pushed it long off, back on the boundary. The man at cover, deep cover is on the boundary. He's brought in the square leg to mid-wicket in the circle. And he's gone, it's in the air, but nobody's going to get there, and they're going to go back for a second run. So again, once you get it past that in the ring, it's difficult for the fielders to catch up with it. A fairly expensive over. The first from Ikwe Craig. And so 57 without loss after 5.
Yeah, the 50 coming up in that over. That very expensive over from the leg spinner being introduced to bowl the 5th over in the power play. And the options they had, just the 2 overs from Cummings, and he went for 16. He was withdrawn from the attack. They tried to do something different. John was expensive at the first over from the northern end. He conceded 12. And Joshua Davis didn't do his team any favor. He also conceded 12 in the first over.
Yeah, it's been 17 came off of that over. And so they're really putting themselves in an impregnable position here. And they're doing it with very little risk-taking. They're just taking what the bowlers are giving them, and they're giving them a lot to chew on.
Well, what this is going to do for Glenora Sports Club, their net run rate in 2 games was 1.35. And if they chase this down in quick time, because they're battling against, they're going to come up against the Savannah boys, whose net run rate is 2.87. So if they're looking for the last 2 games, this one included, they're going to look for that run rate to push them into that first place.
They probably get to the first place based on points alone, because they have 2 games, so they already have 3. So if they get 2 here, that'll take them to 5. And if they get 2 of the last one, it'll put them to 7. No other team in the group could get to 7. So they will win, they'll top the group outright. 6 is the most that Savannah boys could get. And that's a beauty. Ready, Juman.
Nice piece. Bounce and carry through to wicketkeeper Joseph. That's the type of delivery you want to produce time and time again as a right-hander bowling to left-handers, starting on the stumps and the angle, taking it across the left-hand batsman. No slip in place. He's a short third man. He's in the ring, a backward point. The man sweeping out at cover. And the one at long off for this final over of power play.
Yeah, so Julian just needs to, all he needs to do is really just rotate the strike. They already have 57 and they're well ahead. And so all he needs to do is just rotate the strike here. You don't have to try anything out of the ordinary. If they got maybe 6 or 8 from this over, that would be ideal for them. But this is what I was referencing earlier. Now we've had 2 really good deliveries. Again, here's the challenge for Juman. Can he now maintain that consistent line and that length? Don't try anything. Don't experiment. Just try to put it there and let Julian, create his own problems. And this could be a run out here. If he hits, he's out. Well, Julian played it. It went straight to the man at square leg. And Mason was overcommitted. He was well past half pitch and then had to go back.
He was backing up too far and was hit straight to the fielder. Julian took a step down the track as you would do when you turn the ball into the onside.
Yeah, just momentum took him there. He given up. And now Julian wants to single, and he can't get off strike. So both batsmen just the communication, I suppose.
Juma doing a good job here. 4 dot deliveries, pace on the ball. The batsmen now converge in the middle just to have a little chat. Not wanting to take any further risk in terms of running. With 91 needed off of 86 deliveries, they want to push on with this opening partnership after such a good start.
And he's gone with him now, and this is what I was saying. You know, if you just bat long enough, you're going to get 1-2 deliveries every over that you can, take advantage of. And there was a nice little half volley right on his legs, and all he had to do was just go through the line, and it picks up another easy boundary.
Just a little too full. The line was right, but a little too full.
Right in his wagon wheel there. 61 now on the board. And we have 1 delivery left in the 6th power play over.
You mentioned that Ruskin probably get about 2 bad deliveries on over at this level. The 5th one has gone for 4 after 4 dot balls. What will this final delivery be?
And he missed out there on that one, but again, the bowler thinking of probably just doing it, but that should end the over. It is the end of the over. 6 completed. It's 61 for no loss after 6.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And we ready now. When you're feeling hard, take up the water spray. Take up the water spray. In your school or house, take up the water spray. When the bus run out, take up the water spray. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. The water spray. The fitness posse water. The office posse water.
So back here, it's 61 without loss after just 6 overs. And a good power play, you'd have to say, at the end of it all. When you compare that to 39 for 2 on the part of Shannon Sports.
Yeah, and both batsmen just taking charge of the power play. Mason striking it at a strike rate of 190, and he's on 19. Julian for his 41 with a strike rate of 157.7. There have been 3 sixes and 6 fours. It's been very entertaining.
And they're going to go for a quick single. He has to go. He should still run. He doesn't even go. And the ball struck the stump. And he just froze there. Didn't know where the ball was. And Julian had made the call. It was Julian's call. And he just stood there unaware of what was happening around him. And then by the time he decided to run, he's still rehearsing the shot. Now the run was on. And he just decided, in the end, I think he just sacrificed his innings. So his innings of 19 comes to an unfortunate end. He's run out.
He had no clue where the ball went, but Julian was calling him, and he was looking to rehearse the shot, and then looking around to see where the ball went. Instead of listening to the call from the non-striker, Julian was charging down, and the man at square leg had the presence of mind to get a nice dolly throw back to Davis to effect the run out, the wicket keeper. But it was a direct hit. And an easy dismissal in the end, but Mason sacrificing himself because Julian is on 41, despite Mason having a strike rate of 172.7, higher than that of Leonardo Julian. But Julian is going quite well with 6 fours and 2 sixes for his 41. And Out comes a man who's no slouch with the bat either, Mikel Govaya.
Yeah, but again, you cannot just lose easy wickets like that, because cricket is a strange game. You can lose 1 or 2 wickets. Julian may feel as if he now has to bat for 2 and, put pressure on himself and probably get himself out attempting a big hit. So it's a whole different dynamic now, because the mental part of the game is what can do you in if you're not clear in your thoughts and in your processes. So I think he now just has to forget that incident and just kind of bat on. And the same thing with Govaya too, just to help him out. And they're trying a big swing, and now this is exactly what should have happened with Taylor. The last time their leg by is the end, because that's exactly how Mason should have responded to the call. Your teammate called you, you go.
Yeah, and it's a non-striker's call as well. So you have to be aware, the A, B, C, D, E of running between the wickets, and the final E, execution, was lacking there.
Maybe he just didn't feel that because the ball didn't come off the middle of the bat, he wanted to stay down at that end. But once your teammate calls you like that, you have to trust your teammate in that regard. And Davis obviously trying to get in a few dot balls here, see if he could kind of balance the scales here a little bit. They're behind the 8 ball, and they need to pull something out of the bag here. 86 from 81 balls. Too many balls, as they say. Too few runs.
Well, in this game of cricket, Ruskin, sometimes you get a wicket out of nowhere when you're struggling, and then 1 wicket brings 2, and you pinch a big hitter, and all of a sudden the team that was in the ascendancy is just pushed back a little bit on the back foot. And any wicket here, if they do pick it up, Davis would be a big wicket indeed.
And that one kept very low again, and it was a seam-up delivery. And it just squirted along the ground to... Now, is it a no... Well, what is it? The umpire... It is a no ball. Well, it's a no ball, so it's a free hit.
Well, Davis is asking the question if he stepped over. He's in conversation with Govaya as well. And I wonder if it is... But I don't know what it is. The only thing I could think of is that he overstepped.
Yep, it had to be, because the ball just sort of squirted on the ground and went through low down to be taken by the keeper. Now look at it again here. It's a quicker delivery. Now he can't bowl a no ball from there. Look how far that back foot is.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the umpire thought that it bounced twice.
A second time, yep.
But it has to bounce twice before the bat increase to be called a no ball.
So it's tricky. 63 for 1 now, and a free hit. And he's going with it, and but again, cannot take full advantage.
It's just the delivery here.
Once, twice. Ew. It stayed right down. It just what we call a subterranean rodent.
Otherwise known as a ratter.
Yep. In local parlance.
Man out a deep square now.
I'll give you a joke about that just now with Roy Fredericks. Julian almost carrying to the man down here in the deep. Cumberbatch out here, but it doesn't get to him. But I remember a time Prince Bartholomew was bowling. Trinidad was playing Guyana. 7 overs completed, 65 for 1 after 7. And the Roy Fredericks was struggling for runs. He had played about 3 or 4 regional games and couldn't get any scores. And they were saying his because it was him and Greenwich with the 2 openers at the time, and they were saying his position was under threat because Desmond Haynes was making runs. So, it was really a question of can Fredo score some runs. And they came to play at the Oval, and Prince Bartholomew was bowling from the top end, what is like the media end now. and he produced this rat with a new ball and hit him plumb in front. Duck. So when we were in the dressing room after, Prince was apologizing to him, you know. And he said, don't worry about it, man. He said, I'll take it out on Dozy when I go to Jamaica. You know, he went to Jamaica and scored 100.
So said, so done.
Yes. He said, don't worry, man, Mr. Prince. When I go to Jamaica, I'll take it out on Dozy. And I scored 100 in Jamaica.
Well, things balance out. You're unlucky on one end. You know you're going to make up for it somewhere down the road.
Because you remember the wicket in Jamaica was quick. Yeah. But, you know,
was it the days with the glossy finish as well?
Yep, and Newton Dow was quick, but he was straight, if you know what I mean. He used to bowl fast, but he didn't do much with the ball. And so you see, here's Juman. And well played again. Do they think of a second? No. And Govaya immediately switched off the gas.
Juman looks a good prospect here. He's delivering in terms of line and length. He was tucked away in the onside from one that was over pitched to Julian. Put him away for 4. That was the 4 runs he conceded in his first over. But for the most part, he's been quick, he's been sharp, and he's been bowling good lines and lengths so far.
And now he has the advantage of the added protection because of the relaxation of the fielding restrictions. So he has a long off and a deep cover, mid-wicket on the boundary. And they're going for a quick single here again, and they will get it too, Govaya. And Julian, good understanding there.
A sharp single there, direct hit might have been interesting, but it seems as though he made his ground. Took an extra second or 2 to get to it. Good work from the wicketkeeper as well, charging up to the stumps and ensuring he got something onto it.
With a left foot pass there. Back to the bowler.
He just pushed it down the wing.
Yep. And that is probably got a bit of pad on it. And wasn't signaled as a wide. Julian is asking what went on their umps.
There was somebody shouting an appeal as well, and I think it might have come from somebody on the boundary. Who could no way have known where that ball pitched.
Oh, that was way outside leg. I don't know what the umpire was thinking there.
And he didn't get anything on it. He was distracted by the appeal.
This time he got some bat onto it. It's going to roll into the boundary at fine leg. And that's a gift really, because with the... And that's another no ball as well. So... another gift produced here. You don't want to be giving these runs away at this stage.
Now we saw Cummings do this as well. He's trying something different.
Height.
Yeah, and Cummings bowled a slower delivery, turned out to be a full toss after he was bowling a very tight over and was put away for 4. On this occasion, it's gone all wrong for Juman, who's been bowling a good line and length, trying something different to get the wicket of Leonardo Julian. But it's gone all wrong.
So that should take him up to 47 now. Yep, 47 from 31. So he's 3 away from a deserved half century here.
And fortunately for him, it's going to be a free hit as well.
And not only that, to remember the incident that resulted in the run out of Mason. That is probably weighing on his mind, but I would like to think that he would forget that or put it out of his mind as best as he can and just keep going. And he's gone high and far. That's a maximum. That's his half century. What a way to bring up a half century here, a KFC maximum. And he just bludgeoned that free hit for 6. 72 for 1 now. He goes to 53.
There's been a jam of innings from Leonardo Julian. And just adding to his 6s in the innings, it's now his 3rd 6. And is that just the biggest of the lot? 7 4s to complement those 3 6s. And he's really just taking the game away from the Shannon Sports Club. And you could see why the miscommunication with Mason. And Mason sacrificed himself because he knows this is the capability of Julian out there to chase these runs down confidently and in quick time.
Yeah, excellent batting on his part, so a deserved half century. 53 from 32, 7 fours, 3 sixes, and a 165.62 strike rate. Everything in his favor. And well, he robbed himself there. He played it too straight, and he missed the chance of a single. And the bowler couldn't get a touch either, so could have probably affected another run out. But no touch, so a pretty good innings. This from Leonardo Julian. I'm sure he'll be happy with it.
So they've also gone past the halfway point in terms of runs as well, and they've done it in quick time, inside 8 overs. Current run rate just under 10.
Oh, that's even better. That's a brilliant shot. That's 4 runs. From the moment it left the bat, it just sped across the turf. There was a man standing there at that backward point position, but by the time he went down, the ball was under him, and it was screaming on its way towards the boundary.
You know, you see all those big sixes, Ruskin, but give you that left-hander square drive and cover drive, you'd pick that any day. That could very well be the shot of the day so far.
Excellent work in the 82 for 1 now after 8.
When you want to get the inside information, you go to the real source, the team members. Let's hear what they're saying.
One of the joys that I have is calling someone and telling them you have that approval. We want to know our clients. The attention that we give the client feels that warmth.
We help you, the customer.
We are here to help you, achieve your dreams.
Clients succeeding, it has helped the bank to succeed.
Lots of great information here. And yes, GMMB is a real bank.
So 82 for 1 after 8 overs. They're well on their way now, and this is what they didn't want, was to, these are just some of the wickets I saw earlier. What you didn't want is that this early in the game, for them to have more balls than runs required. That's really a cardinal sin. And add more runs to that here again, so the equation gets even better in favor of the batting team rather, because Govaya joins the party.
Shensia blasting across on the sound system, singing hit and run. Well, it's no running involved here because he's just smacking it to the boundary, too wide from Joshua Davis and easily put away with room on offer. And lots of room in the air. He goes over the infield all the way. Couple bounces into the boundary, despite the man at deep cover, couldn't get around.
Well, they're trying to figure out where to position him now. They've pushed him a little bit to his right. And again, this time it's going and gone over the head of the long off, and that's another KFC maximum.
Well, the man on the boundary thought he was in with a chance for a second, and he got his both hands up in the air and just over his head, but it was hit ferociously, almost horizontally as well, smacked down the ground with great power. And even if he'd gotten his hand to that, it could have well taken him over the boundary as well.
Yeah, because I think he landed on the roof, so, and that's without the ball. And really, it's good counter attack or good assault here from Govaya. He was a little bit quiet early on, but now he's starting to expand his game. And again, this time he won't get a run, but he might have created some problems there, some injury problems. I think he took it on the knee there. He's afraid to rub it.
He's smiling.
Yeah, yeah, he's ashamed to rub it.
He's telling him, I'll remember you, I'll remember. He's pointing at him. He's hobbling now.
Yeah, it's hurting. I feeling for him up here. I would rub it.
He's probably telling him, next time go in the air like you went with the last two.
And don't bother me here. That's another good shot. That's brilliant from Govaya. What a shot that is. He just stood and delivered. Brilliant. 96 now for 1 as they race along in the 9th over.
Well, he's bowled it a bit short as well, and that one just sat up and powered through square of the wicket. The man at cover had no chance. Hit with ferocious power. from Govaya, who's quickly on to 16 now. Julian on 57 off 34. And they're running away with it now.
Yeah, but they need 52 now. And so that equation is getting better and better all the time. And again, and he could get a couple here. In fact, he gets another boundary. So it's been a real assault here. And you could just see Kelvin John trying to come across, and he couldn't. The 100 is on the board. It's 100 for 1 now.
3 4s and a 6 in the over, and Davis doesn't know quite where to bowl it at the minute. The man at cover, he's just standing and looking at the ball going left and right of him, and he's tried to chase that one down, but it's sped across the outfield. He only had about 15 yards to move or so and couldn't cut it off.
It's good power and good placement on the part of Govaya. The one before, though, was the shot of the lot, where he just punched it square and picked up a boundary. This one was a little, well, now they're bringing him back to his left now, as if to say, well, I went to the right. When he hit it to the right, now he hit it to the left, so I'm back to the left. And this one peels off the edge, and that's going to go, also going to run into the boundary as well, so that's 4 more.
4 4s and a 6 in the over, separated by a dot ball in the middle, and a fantastic over here for Glenora Sports Club, inadvertently coming off the outside edge, and Joseph is disappointed as well. That one sped across the outfield, a disappointing over there from Davis. He's now conceded 37 runs in his 3 overs.
Yeah, that's bad. 104 for 1 after 9. And you want to do a comparison? There was 62 for 2 after 9. So it wasn't even close in terms of the position in here. And this is Govaya really at his best here, where he could just free his arms and without a care in the world.
Former CPL champion, St. Lucia Kings was it, Mikel Govaya, and just producing the kind of shots that we did see from him in the CPL last year. He's on to 24. Julian striking at 167.6, but Govaya going past him in terms of strike rate, striking over 200, 218. And if they keep this up, Ruskin, we could be in for an early night.
Well, it's because it's like a double barrel assault or a double fisted assault, because they're getting shellacked from both ends, and no bowler has been spared so far, probably with the exception, you'd have to say, of maybe, who should I say?
Cummings,
Juman, maybe
Juman as well, yeah.
For a little bit, but outside of that,
Cummings has been the best bowler economically, and you can't wait until the end to bring him back. You're going to have to bring him back sooner than expected.
Shamaki Stewart now.
I just thought, Ruskin, you might have brought him back for just 1 over when you saw Govaya coming, but you want to bring your best bowler back to bowl against your best batsman. And against the best batsman.
Yep, so it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate the next couple of overs, because this game could very well finish in a real canter here, very, very fast. And again, because of the way that Govaya is hitting the ball, Julian has decided, look, I'm just going to sit here, rotate strike, and enjoy the show from the non-strikers end.
He'll be away as well. Now it's just 5 deliveries to the interval. So he's just going to relax for a moment at the non-strikers end. Hand it over to Govaya, who is striking over 200. 43 required off of 65.
Yeah, when I was showing you that a little while ago, it was what, 67 or so, 72 balls, and then he did like 68 runs. Look how quickly that has changed. Now it
was 65 for 1 after 7 overs.
And he's bowled him. He went right across it and is bowled for 24. A big wicket for Stewart.
Yeah, funny game this cricket. He's looking to go big again, Govaya. And Adrian Joseph has a giggle with Govaya. just mocking him over. You lost your off stump there, trying to go big. But Stewart is the man celebrating. And why shouldn't he? Getting the off stump out of the ground. It's any fast bowler's dream to see that stumps just rocked back. And it's even better when it's dislodged from the ground as well.
And Govaya would be thinking he missed out there, because that was a nice, juicy half volley that he just played. He seemed to lose his balance as well, and just threw the bat at it, missed it, and was bowled. But I think the players are going to take their refreshment break now, the normal mid-innings break. It's 105 for 2. That's the latest here at the Diego Martin Complex.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. How important is it for the client to be recognized and not to feel invisible, to feel like just a number?
At GMMB, everybody is seen as an ideal, important client. And we give everybody the same level of respect, the same level of acknowledgement, and we deal with you to suit based on that vision of love.
GMMB.
It's banking for real.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And we ready now. When you feeling hard, take a blue water spray. Take a blue water spray. In your school or home, take a blue water spray. When the bus run out, take a blue water spray. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. Blue water spray. If it is posse water, the office posse water.
When you want to get the inside information, you go to the real source, the team members. Let's hear what they're saying.
One of the joys that I have is calling someone and telling them you have that approval. We want to know our clients. The attention that we give the client feels that warmth.
We help you, the customer.
We are here to help you, achieve your dreams.
Clients succeeding, it has helped the bank to succeed.
Lots of great information here. And yes, GMMB is a real bank.
Blue Water's posse identified. Somebody pass blue water. Somebody bring blue water. Somebody get blue water. And we ready now. When you feeling hard, take a blue water spray. Take a blue water spray. In your school or home, take a blue water spray. When the bus run out, take a blue water spray. Party posse water. Working posse water. School children they water. Blue water spray. If it is posse water, the office posse water.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch whoever isn't on board. Order KFC's Mega 6 Bucket for only $115. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. What about the connection with you and your team members?
It's top priority for me to have that clear understanding of who my team members are and building connections with them to ensure that they carry out the vision of what we are trying to achieve as a team, realizing opportunities for both the clients and ourselves.
GMMB.
It's banking for real.
Having that family lime at home, that cookout by the river, or you're just feeling to bubble up pot? Then Cans Poultry and Meats Limited has got you covered for all your meaty needs. Whether it be chicken, beef, steak, lamb, or even seafood, check Cans. They even have seasoning and condiments to complement your dish. So if you're looking for top quality meats at prices that wouldn't bust your pocket, then come on in to Cans today at any of their convenient locations.
Truth be told, here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. It seems to me there's a power in listening. It seems like that is a part of the mandate.
Of course. We need to listen to our clients. We need to hear.
Welcome back to our coverage here. New batsman out in the middle, Kenroy Williams, with the fall of the Michael Govaya wicket for 24. He was bowled by Shamaki Stewart, who has the ball in hand. 2 deliveries he bowled in the 10th over. And as he was brought into the attack to place Roddy Juman, who went for 21 off of his 2 overs. So the captain is out there in the middle with Leonardo Julian, still undefeated on 58 off of 35 deliveries. And the field, long off, long on, deep cover and deep mid-wicket, as well as a deep square leg. Those are the fielders on the boundary outside of the ring. As Stewart certainly will have his tail up after picking up such a big wicket. But in the context of the match, with 43 needed off of 64, it's going to be a tall order for them to pull this back. Quick single. Kenroy just scampers down to the non-striker's end. And a wicket at a little bit too late, Ruskin, or just in time?
Well, it depends on how they, how Julian and Williams would go. But because if these two put together another little partnership here, the game is pretty much done and dusted. But the next 2 to 3 overs will be critical. So to answer that particular question, I think you just wait to see how it pans out. But right now, they've only lost 2 wickets, so they're so far ahead. They shouldn't be too affected by it, and especially if Julian can just hold his nerve here and just keep going. Don't try to do anything fancy. Just play on merit and pick up boundaries when offered.
Stewart comes in, an upright approach from the fast bowler, the medium fast bowler, and a full delivery outside the off stump. Get some bat onto it. And did it ricochet onto the chest of Adrian Joseph? He's rubbing it there. No run in the end. The current run rate 10.97. An extremely strong position.
Yeah, this is what you want to see when you're doing a run chase, because you want to put your nose in front and just kind of keep it there. So you're putting pressure on the fielding team all the time, so they never feel like they have a real chance. And all you really have to do is just keep going.
Stewart trying to get a second wicket in his first over. In the air, out to cover, and just short of John charging him from the deep cover boundary. And couldn't get there, tried to put his body in the way to knock it down, got something onto it, and the ball just plugged after it passed him, but a half chance, you would say?
Couldn't
get
is.
There.
But I'm kind of disappointed with Julian here, because that was 2 runs easily. Okay, it's a bad shot. There's very little you could do about that now. Just run the runs, but he just jogged the single and never bothered to even think of a second run, because he should be back on strike now. Just imagine Williams gets dismissed now. You're just compounding this situation.
Stewart, half chance produced. He bails out of his approach. And sometimes Ruskin with 1 wicket, another one falls. And so often we see that it's the set batter that falls as the second wicket. So Julian, perhaps he thought that it was in the air heading toward the fieldsman, and the crowd was excited. Perhaps he thought that he was going to be out, but the man can still put the catch down.
Yeah, the ball passed the man, that's what I'm saying. And he had more than enough time to take the second run, and he just kind of gave up on that second run.
Yeah, 10 overs gone now, 108 for 2. Julian on 59 and Kenroy Williams, the captain, just to the crease on 2.
Having that family lime at home, that cookout by the river, or you're just feeling to bubble up pot? Then Cans Poultry and Meats Limited has got you covered for all your meaty needs. Whether it be chicken, beef, steak, lamb, or even seafood, check Cans. They even have seasoning and condiments to complement your dish. So if you're looking for top quality meats at prices that wouldn't bust your pocket, then come on in to Cans today at any of their convenient locations.
You have a look at Leonardo Julian's wagon wheel, shots all around the ground, and he's hit 3 6s and 8 4s in that score, 59.
It's been a really good innings from him. Like I said, he just has to stay in the game. He's done all the hard work. You don't want to, just lose concentration. And the shot he was playing, the last ball he faced, when he hit the one and almost got caught in the deep. Again, he's trying to play a cover drive on the front foot like that, but he was nowhere near the ball in terms of the pitch of the ball. So he just threw the bat way out in front. And, and that is the concentration levels that I was speaking about. Now, if he had just kind of gone across it and play. We've seen him play that shot before.
Yep.
You know, stay on top of the ball and just cut it. It probably would have gone squarer.
Yeah, just close the bat face on it.
If he didn't get a boundary, at least he would have gotten one, the same score that he got, and he almost got out playing a bad shot.
Ikwe Craig is into the attack. His first over went for 17 runs as he was asked to bowl the fifth over in the power play. He was struck for 6 and 2/4 in that first over, taking the opportunity just around his arm. Dead ball signaled by umpire Ryan John.
So it's leg spinner against leg spinner.
He's had difficulty with his grip with the dew factor out there in the middle. Drag down. Protection is out there. We saw him to Julian when he was bowling earlier on, and he was predominantly outside the off stump and was smacked away on the onside when the protection was on the onside in the power play. They made the change, but he still went for some runs.
Yeah, he was. Julian took a liking to him and punched him away a couple of times, hit him behind point, hit him in front of point, and then hit him over long off. So he must be glad to see Williams out there, who hasn't settled as yet, but he also has Julian to contend with still.
He's having a lot of difficulty here with his grip. We saw him drying the ball profusely, his hands as well, and a lot of sweat out there. And to compound the problem, maybe a damp outfield, a bit of dew as well. So tries to settle to bowl the second ball of his over. He's not happy at all. He's lost confidence to release the ball as well. Pulls the cloth out, gets some dirt on his hands, but he's not settled at all.
Well, and the thing about it is that this one is hit in the air. Ew.
Yeah, Julian seems as though he's almost throwing caution to the wind now, Ruskin. Protection is out there in the deep, and he's not taking that into consideration because he's going in the air in the direction of the fielder in the deep, and he's not getting all of it. He can't quite grasp the turn and the bounce yet from Craig.
Hit the ball on the ground, if you know what I'm saying. Just hit it into the gaps on the ground. If you're not going to get a bounce, you don't run the risk of getting out. And that's more like it.
Yeah, in the meantime, the captain more sedate in his approach. Just rotation of strike.
Is it a no ball as well?
So it's going to compound the problem he's had in the previous game for overstepping. He's not happy at all with his approach. And a couple of times he's looking down at the popping crease when he's going to deliver. But his head is falling away. He takes his eye off the target and overstepping. Julian now has a free hit. It's in the air. And again, he's not timed it well. They go for one as Cummings comes off the long off boundary. So we saw him bowl quite a number of no balls in the earlier match. I think it was about 3 or 4 of them in his 2-over spell. And you were making the point, Ruskins, the cardinal sin for leg spinners or any spinner to bowl a no ball.
Yep, it's because you're just it's just a couple steps that they're taking, and you would think that you'd know where your front foot is landing.
Drags it down this time. Kenroy gets it around the umpire at square leg. Just a single. He continues to rotate the strike along the ground is Kenroy Williams as opposed to Leonardo John, who's trying to go aerial but hasn't managed to middle too many of them so far after the drinks break.
Yeah, because he's not getting to the pitch of the ball. He's just throwing the bat, throwing his arms at the ball, playing through the line of the ball, as opposed to really getting to the pitch of the ball and hammering it.
Craig the Trag is a good delivery. And they dab it down for a single, and the throw at short third man is into the turf. And on the up to the wicketkeeper, away from the stumps, and they complete the single quite easily in the end.
It's good running. It's a little bit risky. Julian just played it, but look at the speed that Williams had to put in there to get to the striker's end. But again, the fielder just kind of stood there, allowed the ball to come to him, and by the time he released it, Williams was safely home.
Kenroy Williams from Jamaica known for their sprinting ability. Tugged in the air. Mid-wicket comes around, gets it a couple bounces. Slid across a damp outfield as well. I want to say damp, perhaps some dew out there as well on the boundary edge. And a single to complete the 11th over. 116 for 2. Julian on 62. And he's just slowing down a bit as he's crossed his 50. But still in the ascendancy in this match so far, Glenora Sports Club.
Yeah, they're pretty much on course for a massive victory here. And they just need to stay focused and, you know, don't leave the door open for Shannon Sports at all. As we say, shut the door on them and don't even make them feel like they have a chance of winning the game. You know, right now you're just kind of meandering along, but you don't want to be losing wickets, and you don't want to even create chances. Just take the game away from them completely.
Yeah, that killer instinct, and you were alluding to it earlier as well with Julian when he hit the ball in the air to deep cover and there was a fumble in the outfield and he wasn't intent on looking for a second run at all. You've had to have that killer instinct. The best teams in the world applied that strategy in every aspect of their game. Here's Stewart with a wicket to his name and got the wicket of Govaya as Davis dives over one at extra cover. And a single to the total.
Yeah, again, it's you know, the running is not at its best at the moment because they just seem so content with singles. But you know, you could force the fielding team to make errors by putting them under pressure. That ball was close to the boundary, so that return had to travel a fair distance to get back to the bowler. You had more than enough time to take a second run, but Julian seemed pretty happy.
And two of the fastest men out there in the middle with the bat in their hands. Julian goes in the air again and he's shoveling it around over the head of the short fine leg. It'll go into the boundary for 4 and 4 more to the total. This one just angled down onto the pads and easily put away from Julian.
Yeah, nice gift there. Thank you very much. Outside the legs, nice comfortable height, and the fine leg is up. So you're inviting trouble there.
A very Pooran-like, Nicholas Pooran-like type of shot. In the T20 format, the TKR captain returned home today. Did he have the trophy in his hand when he came in?
Probably was in his bag. You never know.
Or is it in the hands of the manager, Colin Board? Is he returning to the country?
Yep. And I'm trying to figure out where do the Knight Riders keep their trophies?
Julian.
And again, this is a big hit that's gone.
Pulled over mid-wicket, dispatched, and not for the first time in the innings. In fact, for the 6th time in the innings, this particular innings, the umpire indicates 6 to the sparse crowd here at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. But this is certainly a good display of batting from Leonardo Julian, pulling it away over the boundary, over mid-wicket, not for the first time in this innings.
Yeah, he's rotating now. He's back up. He's up to 72 now. We've had a tournament high of 90, scored a couple of nights ago. So
90 from Brent Lizama.
Yep. So Julian might be thinking, do I have enough time to get to 90 here?
Stuart trying again. He's gone round the wicket now, changing the line of attack to Julian, who gets a single. 128 for 2. Chasing down a total of 147. So if he's going to have to do it, Ruskin, 20 runs needed. He's not going to get there.
Yeah, he alone must do but he alone must score from here. And but it's not impossible, like you say. You know, if he gets a single here and he gets back on strike. And
heading down the leg side, not out, says the umpire. And again, bowling from Stewart here. And 1 for 17 he has. Look at the bowling left, Ruskin. 2 overs left from Cummings. Kevin John has only bowled 1. And Davis has bowled 3. I'm not sure we'll get him back into the attack, but Roddy Juman has bowled 2 for 21.
Yep,
Those are the options.
And then he has to be smart here now. How does he use his resources?
It's a good delivery.
Do they go for two here? They should get two comfortably.
Yeah, the ball just died in the outfield. And interesting where the ball ended up, not even outside of the 30-yard circle. The bowler could have chased that down and tried to prevent a second run. The 12th over comes to an end. 75 to Julian, 7 to Williams, 131 for 2, 17 needed.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch whoever isn't on board. Order KFC's Mega 6 bucket for only $115. KFC, it's finger licking good.
A Mega 6 piece from KFC. We've seen some Mega 6s here today. 6 of them in all. 6 6s in this total of 131. And 4 of them off of the bat of Leonardo Julian. 1 apiece from Mason and Govaya. And 17 needed. The bowling change now. Neil Weathers Cumberbatch comes into the attack. So no Cummings. And Juman has not returned either. So they're changing it up.
Yeah, they only need 17 here, so this could end in a hurry.
Williams on strike, the captain looking to take it home. Nice loopy flighted delivery, just chipped down the ground for 1. The batsman part jog it, part walk the single. It's Cummings the man doing the fielding. You just thought that you might bring Cummings back for an over after the drinks break. You would think that, you know, he's the leading wicket taker, 10 wickets in the tournament, that he'd want the ball as well to try and pick up and add to his wicket tally in this North Zone T20 festival.
Yeah, you want to give him every opportunity to get you wickets. Okay, he was a bit expensive.
Full toss and hit all the way. It smashes into the fence over the head of long on. Another 6 in the innings. 7 in all now. 138 for 2.
Another KFC maximum, and that was a full toss that he put away. And that too was bordering on being another free hit. It was just coming down enough to convince the umpires that it wasn't above the waist.
So Ruskin, 10 needed, he's on 81. Can he get the highest score in the tournament to beat Lezama's 90? Pushing, looking for a single, a bit more circumspect, as he's eyeing up a big score.
Well, he could be, you know, if he is authoritative, he could say, okay, let me just 2 big hits here, and let's end this in some style.
Yeah, 6 and a 4, and he'll certainly score 91 and bring home the victory. So flighted delivery,
That's
and there's
1.
the 6.
Yep, that's 1.
That's the KFC maximum right there. Adding to the mega deal from KFC.
So now he needs another big one, and he could in fact have the highest score of the tournament. If he could produce another one, even if he gets 4, he will get to 91.
Well, he's been certainly liking his chances because the bowler is just tossing it up. It's almost meat and drink.
Yeah, this is like the baseball derby, the 6-hitting derby, the home run derby, where the pitchers, they just toss it and ask the hitters to just swing.
So Neil Cumberbatch doing a thankless job of coming into bowl. What might be the final over. And he goes over the offside and 1 bounce into the boundary. That should do it. And he will attain the highest score in the tournament, beating that of Brent Lezama. Leonardo Julian finishes on 91 as he finishes off the game with victory to the Glenora Sports Club, chasing down the total set by Shannon Sports Club of 147 for 8 in their 20 overs. 91 to Julian, 24 to Govaya. Kenroy Williams not out on 8, 19 to the opening batsman Keon Mason. 6 extras in the innings, and this game done and dusted in 12.3 deliveries.
Well, 12.3 overs, and really it's a good performance from Glenora Sports. And like we were saying all around, winning by 8 wickets, and more importantly, getting 2 invaluable points. So this takes them to 5 now. So as we stand right now, they're the leaders in the group because they've leapfrogged the other 2 who are ahead of them on 4 points each. Now, depending on results from other games, you know, they could very well find themselves in a position where, like I said, they win their next game, they will top the group. So it doesn't matter run rate or anything like that. They will be the group leaders. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare. But this was a truly outstanding performance on their part. They should be proud. And now they just need to bottle this and take this into their next game.
Yeah, Shannon Sports Club, they will finish 3rd on the table in their final game. Bookmalatris on 1 point at the bottom of the table. The next game on Republic Day would be Northside Future Stars against Bookmalatris. And Savannah Boys will take on this winning outfit of Glenora Sports Club here on the 25th of September. Games on tomorrow as well in Group A. And then Republic Day will be a double header as the players meet out in the middle, celebrating the victory. Congratulations to the Glenora Sports Club, sealing this victory here in 12.3 overs.
So 148 for 2. Four overs used up, and a comprehensive victory there indeed. And I think they just need to now look at themselves, and I'm sure they're saying, well, look, you know, we give it a shot. We didn't produce what we wanted to produce in this tournament, and then let's look at where we go from here. But for Glenora, they must be thinking, okay guys, you know, this is 1 down. We have 1 more to go, and let's just stay focused and hopefully get into the playoffs, into the semi-finals, and probably win the tournament if you could get to the final. So this is what it looked like. This was a good early delivery, and almost pricing out an early wicket boundary, early clock, and of course the pair of Benjamin and George were trying their best to get them going until a simple catch taken out there by Rouse. Benjamin goes for 19. Davis came and he played well for his 38 from just 34 deliveries. And again, a big wicket there. Alexander Guevara bowled for 11. Still, the question was, can they get the move on here? And there were times when they do it. Ikwe Craig came, and he certainly did his part to help his team up the ante, and in spectacular fashion. But then they kept losing wickets at critical times, and the innings just kind of stalled to some degree. They couldn't really get on top of the bowling as well as they wanted to. But then when it was Glenora's turn to bat, this man, Leonardo Julian, he came out and on fire. He just stroked the ball to all parts, and together with his opening partner, Keon Mason, they produced 61 runs before being separated. And that's because of some lusty blows like this one. This was a beauty. In any form of cricket, they would take that one. And as well as this one also. In the power play, they were blistering. They put on 61 in the power play overs and set things up here. And this was when they got into that bit of a mix-up there. And Mason was run out for 19. But Julian kept going, and he found a willing partner in Mikael Govaya, who came and took all the pressure off of him because he started to really blister. In fact, in one over from Davis, he just smoked him to all parts. And 3 fours in succession there. That one a little bit fortuitous. And talking about fortune, he missed that one. And was bowled for 24 by Stewart. but but rather Julian stayed the course. Williams came and joined him, and together they saw the game through. A nice half volley, a lollipop, really just floated up there, asking to be hit, and Julian didn't disappoint. And then he ended it here with another boundary. He ended with an unbeaten 91. Williams was 8 not out at the end, and a big victory for Glenora Sports by 8 wickets. But here's the question. Do you give the man of the match to Julian for his brilliant innings, or do you give it to Mikel Govaya for his 4 wickets and his knock of 24?
Yeah, very interesting indeed, because he did break the back of the Shannon batting lineup. 4 wickets he took for 19 runs, including a maiden as well. So, and then he added the impetus to the inning to make the game safe, take the pressure off of Julian, as you said, with the loss of the first wicket with the score on 61. They had a good start, but we'll soon find out who's getting the presentation.
Yeah. But I would give it to Govaya, because I think his all-round performance, and like you said, he set up the game for them with those 4 crucial wickets, and he kept taking wickets. He took 2 early, and then he came back and took 2 in his second spell, and that really. And if you remember their innings, they were cautious at the top because they'd lost those 2 early wickets, and then they couldn't accelerate the way they wanted to at the back end again, because he came and he picked up a couple of wickets inside of there. So, and then he came with the bat, took all the pressure off of Leonardo Julian, allowed him to consolidate after that mix-up with the run-out with Mason, and then he came and he played a gutsy, fiery 24 run innings in double quick time. I think he only used up 9 deliveries or something
12,
like that.
his strike rate was 200.
Yep. So he
the
was
highest strike rate of the game.
Yep. So he was certainly he played a crucial part. I don't see them not giving it to him, but I wouldn't be disappointed if they gave it to Julian. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Mikel Govaya being the player of the man of the match here today.
Well, it'll all be brought to bear very soon as the presentation area is being set up. And the Glenora Sports Club, they're having a short team meeting out there as we await the presentation.
They don't seem too happy. I don't know. They're not jovial. It's almost as if, they're very businesslike. They know they still have work to do. And so they're probably of the mindset, okay, this one is done and dusted. Let's look ahead now to the next game and don't take anything for granted.
Yeah, they're treating the game as if it's a knockout. This one, the 1 hurdle cross, there's another one to cross for them to get into Saturday's finals. Double-header semi-finals on Saturday, finals on Sunday.
Yep. And we're just keeping our fingers crossed that the weather will cooperate and allow them to complete the tournament.
It has been a factor. In fact, it impacted Glenora's progress in the tournament with their game against Bugmalatris that was rained out, a game that, they would have been confident to get a victory in that game. And had they won that game, it would have put them in a comfortable position on the table and almost cement their position in the semi-finals. But it's not to be just yet.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the finishing. I think they have the fan of the night to determine, and then we have the player of the match award to be handed out. And it looks like it's Mikel Govaya because he's the one standing there. Now I don't know if they ask him to stand there, if he just standing there anticipating that he will be the player of the match.
And
but
you wouldn't put it past him either, right?
He would say, you can't give it to anybody else but me, and I'm here already.
We're set for the presentation. We take you down.
Yeah, so no surprise there at all. Mikel Govaya picks up the Man of the Match award, and deservedly so as well. And but of course, it didn't come as any real surprise, like I said, and that he was the Man of the Match award. Fine all-round performance from him, and I think he thoroughly deserves the Man of the Match award. What it means, though, like we said, is that GLENORA, they have jumped to 5 points on the top of the Group B, and now it's a question of can they stay there and push on. Tomorrow, we will have another game coming your way from 6:30 tomorrow. The Harvard Club, Brian Charles Lara, and Santa Cruz Sports. I suppose you might have divided loyalties there coming from Santa Cruz himself. But should Darren Bravo be back in Trinidad, don't be surprised if he lines up for Santa Cruz Sports tomorrow to see if he could give them a little bit of a boost. Again, we hope you could join us for that. On behalf of Billy and the entire crew here, I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much. And let me thank our sponsors once again as we go. KFC, GMMB, Cannes Poultry, Blue Waters, Dixie, Black and White Scotch Whisky, Beckles Environmental Services, Lion Brand from the National Flour Mills, and of course, our production team here at Cricket 360. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.